Hello, everybody. This is Catholic Dad signing in for episode number 43, legalism. What is legalism? So, what does the law do? And I'm going to suggest to you that the law is the very minimum, the very bottom of moral behavior, and it's the lowest level thresholds that you should ever attain in terms of your moral behavior with one another. Things like you shouldn't kill people. That's probably a good idea. You shouldn't assault people. You shouldn't steal from them. No property rights, assault and battery. You name it. These are the things that everybody's expected not to do to each other. But a lot of people descend into something called legalism, and I think anytime you go into business or corporations, they tend to descend into it first. It's we do whatever we can get away with in the confines of the law, and nobody should ever set up their moral well-being that way. The law is the basis of the bottom of the barrel of the behavior that we're expected to be. But we, as hopefully Catholics and moral people, and it's not just Catholics, but it's people that want to attain a higher level of living in a higher plane, we want to attain a much higher moral high ground. So it says, you have to pay your taxes, right? Well, you do that, but what do you do? Well, you do more than that, right? Because you give some charity to people, give away at least 10% of your income, maybe volunteer some time with others to help people up, get forward in life, or somebody that needs a handicap ramp, you go build that for them. A friend needs to move, you go do that for them. You're not legally obligated to do any of these things, but you kind of are morally obligated to do things like this. And so I think if you descend into legalism, if you descend into just I'll do whatever I can get away with as long as I don't go to jail, you end up making your moral life very shallow, and that's when people start doing shady deals. And here's the other thing, by the way. The law is sometimes very vague and fuzzy, and so when people are doing business deals, this and or that, and they they tend to try to push the envelope of legal, this boundary of legal. It's usually kind of vague, and so they'll set their contracts up where, well, it doesn't exactly say you can't do this, and oh, by the way, we're going to make some money with this. That's not the way to be. You kind of want to stay within the confines of the law. You never want to do things that are immoral in any way. You don't want to, steal from orphans and widows and children if you're able to. You want to actually stand up and be a pillar, a beacon of hope for your society, and be that light in the darkness. And that demands that you place upon yourself certain moral expectations that don't even come close to the bottom of the law. That the law will never ever look at you if you do the right thing, because you're always living 15 levels or 20 levels above where the law says you could be. You're way higher than that, and therefore no police officer would ever look at you ever. And you'll never have a lawsuit filed against you or anything else. Now, here's the deal, by the way. Eventually, if good people and moral people get persecuted by a government, because that can happen. Sometimes you have to stand up and break the law, right? But for right reasons. You can't sit there and take oppression and tyranny by an overhanded state that forces you to offend or violate your moral conscience. If you ask me, when a man or a woman is forced to violate their moral conscience at the hands of the edict of a state or a corporation or a business or you name it, that's my definition of tragedy. So you should never do that, right? You should always remain in the confines of the law until the law asks you to do too much. And if you think about it, you bring yourself back to the Garden of Eden. Eve ate the apple, and Eve tries to hand the apple to to Adam, and Adam has a choice to make. Either he's going to try to please his wife, follow the laws of the tribe, right? Or he's going to follow God's law. And the thing he did wrong was he followed the laws of the tribe, essentially. He wanted to please his wife. Instead, he should have not done that, and what he should have done was follow the laws of God. And therefore, that is the moral high ground that we're trying to achieve. We're trying to not become legalistic. We're trying to become morally advanced people, where we can care for ourselves. And hopefully, if we do this right, we will reduce suffering in our society for everybody that knows us, associates with us, and is, in our family groups, or friends groups, or church groups, or even the schizophrenic guy on the street, that it's our moral behavior that makes him able to eat, right? If you think about that, or have health care and whatever else. And I can tell you the number of times I've given away free health care to people just because it's the right thing to do. Absolutely, I would do that every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So there you have it. Don't be legalistic. Don't try to figure out what you can get away with. Look at what you can do and what you're morally obligated to do, and then try to make a plan based upon that. This is a Catholic Dad signing off. Episode number 43, and please like or subscribe or share with friends. God bless.